I'll Become a Knight Part 2. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. When Encred wakes up, he realizes the same acts of his squad mates as the exact same as that of the day he died, which of course was confusing. The time for battle came and he noticed the enemy soldiers' attack pattern to be the same as that of when he died. He thought it was déjà vu. The second time he died to the same opponent, the third time too. Only then he wakes up and holds his throat in disbelief, realizing the burning pain and the blood he threw up when the enemy's sword pierced through his throat. Only then did he realize it was real, that this day keeps on repeating. Now that he knows what will happen on the battlefield, he used that to his advantage, realizing the wall of a perfect stab that he can't possibly dodge with his mediocre skill. At the moment, he had seen the blade tip for the 7th time before being stabbed. In his 17th death, he was filled with regret that maybe if he had wielded the sword with a bit more effort, and maybe if he had worked a bit harder as he laid down dead on a pool of blood, he then thought maybe he wouldn't have died there. Then a mysterious voice replied back. "Do you really think so?" it said. When he raised his head, he saw a little boat with a being that seemed like a grim reaper, only it didn't have a scythe but a hanging lantern. Before Encred could reply, it plunged on and tell him to try struggling. He will eventually give up because of the despair of a wall he cannot cross. As he knelt there, he then got filled with anger and rage as he showed his unfolding will. That morning when Encred woke up, he was more calm and determined to face the wall once more, telling himself if he can see the stab technique a few more times, he will be able to go beyond this day. Then we get a flashback of Encred training as a kid with an unknown person that praised him, that if he is already good at his age and he could become a knight. And that is when he began to dream of becoming a knight. A transcended human that is no longer defined by human limits. He who can slay 1,000 people by himself and change the dynamics of his battlefield. An incredible hero, and so Encred thought he was the protagonist, but he didn't know how the real world was. Then he decided to leave the village he stayed at to go become a knight. Encred came to realize his dream was not an easy one after being hurt badly on his first expedition as a mercenary, and since had already told everyone his dream, they called him a coward because how is a person scared of a mere stay dog even think they can become a knight? It was then when realized his talent was nothing special, but still didn't give up from just one failure. Encouraged himself that hard work never betrays. He trained relentlessly, and with time he knew he wasn't talented with the sword, but still continued toward his goal, believing that consistently, putting effort, he could overcome it all. As time passed, Encred gained experience, strength, and endurance to be acknowledged by those around him, and had this hunger to become stronger so he can become a knight. But that strong hope started to shatter when he was in the village he used to live in. A 12-year-old kid who had only started learning swordsmanship 6 months ago requested a duel against Encred, who had spent over a decade wielding a sword to a point where his palms were wrecked. Encred lost the duel, and the kid told him, "Old man, you are weak," he said. Encred felt enraged, realizing his efforts were in vain. By then, instead of giving up, this time he even put more effort by reducing sleeping and eating time and increased training time. As he kept swinging his sword day in and day out, he then said to himself that knighthood really is unreachable for him, so he will at least be an experienced soldier. Brace yourselves for part 3. Be sure to like and subscribe if you would like more content like this one.